All right, guys, so for today, what we're going to be doing is we are going to be rounding, and rounding with decimals is not really any different from rounding with whole numbers. The only difference is we have something after the decimal place. So what we're going to do is we're going to go through and do numbers 1 through 10 together, and then I will give you directions on what's going to happen at the end of this video. So number 1 says to round to the nearest whole number. So I'm going to take a look at this whole number, and that's 17. Okay, it tells me I'm going to look 1 to the right, so I'm going to look at that 4/10, and that 4 is going to tell me that I'm going to round down or stay the same, so this number rounded to this nearest whole number is 17. Round to the nearest tenth. Okay, so I need to find in 39 and 32 hundredths, I need to find out which one is my 10th column. The 3 is in my tenths column. I'm going to look at that 2. That 2 is going to tell me I'm going to round down or stay the same. So this number rounded to the nearest tenth is 39 and 2/10. Number 3, round to the nearest whole number. So the whole number is 981. But I don't have to look at the 981. I really just want to focus on that 1. So I'm going to take a look at this 9 in the tenths column. That 9 is going to tell me to round up. So this 1 will turn into a 2. So this number rounded to the nearest whole number is 982. So I'm going to round this number 487 and 32 thousandths. I'm going to round it to the hundredth column. Here is my 6 in my hundredth column, my 600th. And I'm going to look at that 2, and it's going to tell me to round down or stay the same. So I have 487 and 36 hundredths. Number 5, round to the nearest hundredth. So this 0 is in that hundredth column. I'm going to look to the right of that number. It's a 0 again. So that's going to tell me it's going to round down or stay the same. So this number rounded is going to be 22 and 70 hundredths. Okay. Now, if I took the 0 out, the number would stay the same. But because they wanted you to round to the hundredth, I do want to see that number in that hundredth column. Okay, round to the nearest whole number. 9 is my whole number. I'm going to take a look at that 7 in the tenths column, and that is going to tell me to round up. So rounding 9 up is going to be to the number 10. Round to the nearest tenth. Here is the number in the tenth column. I have 56 and 79 hundredths. 7 is in my tenths column. I'm going to look at that 9 to tell me, well, I'm going to round up. So rounding 7 up is going to be 8. So it's going to be 56 and 8/10. Okay, got a couple more to do. We're going to round to the nearest whole number. Now, here the whole number is 72. But then again, remember, you don't have to necessarily look at that 7. I'm just going to look at that 2. I'm going to take a look at the number to the right of that 2, which is 5, and it's going to tell me I'm going to round up. So this number rounded up, that 2 is going to turn into 3 ones, so my answer is 73. Round to the nearest tenth. This 8 is in the tenths column. The 8 in the hundredths column is going to tell me to round up, so my answer is going to be 6 and 9/10. Finally, we have round to the nearest whole number. So 3 is that whole number. That 6 is going to tell me to round it up, and that's going to be the number 4. Okay. If you feel comfortable with doing this, what I would like you to do is go ahead and do numbers 11 through 20 on your own. If you feel like you need a little bit of extra help, go ahead and go to the next slide and watch me do these answers. When you are finished doing them on your own, if you felt comfortable, go ahead and go through the video and make sure that your answers are correct.